Welcome to another sexy time with Zach. Guess what? I forgot my shirt again. I always get comments about me not wearing a shirt, but guess what? I don't like them, so I'm not gonna wear them. Anyways, today, we're gonna bring it down. Today, we're gonna talk about really briefly how to connect. Actually, how to know you're talking to God. How to know you are talking with your higher self. Now the answer is very, very simple and brief. Sweet, short and sweet. The answer is, how do you know you are connecting with your higher self, with God? Simply by paying attention to how you feel. I'm not going to make it convoluted. I'm not going to confuse anything. Your emotional guidance system is your true indicator of your connection with God, with your higher self. Now, how do you know that you are actually communicating with your higher self? Well, that takes many years of practice. There's a reason that you go in a monastery and you meditate for hours and hours and hours in a day, and then it still takes you 20 years. It's because it takes time to understand your intuitive feelings. It takes time to differentiate your emotional feelings, your emotions and your feelings from each other. Your emotions are not things that are just happening. They are indicators of our connection with the infinite creator, our source. Does that make sense? The spring, the source of the spring is the river, the lake, right? The dam, the water that is melted into the river, to the lake. Excuse me. I keep wanting to say river. That is the lake, right? And the stream is the current, the water flow from the lake. So that stream of us, stream of infinite consciousness, the river of life stems from the lake of life. Right? And that lake is our source. We are the stream. So by paying attention to that, understanding that the stream of consciousness is always moving through us. Consciousness is the lake. We're the stream, right? That consciousness flow is our source. And so our thoughts will allow us to either connect deeper or block ourselves off from that understanding. When we're feeling really, really, really good, when you feel at true peace, when you feel overjoyed, appreciative, grateful, loving, being love, right? That's when we're communicating at our highest with God. When we feel sad, depressed, fearful, frustrated, angry, all those things are our indicator that we are disconnected from our source, from God, from our higher self. Now, how do we communicate with God? Short answer, don't expect to hear words. Words just create more noise. When you are really communicating fully with the divine, with your higher self, with God, expect to receive more stillness. Expect to receive more silence. I'm going to give you a quote really quick from my favorite book of all time, The Life and Teachings of the Masters of the Far East. And this master teacher, she says, "When you come to the Red Sea, place in your life when, in spite of all you can do, when there is no way round, there's no way back, there is no other way but through, know God with a soul serene, and the dark and the storms are gone. God stills the winds, God stills the waves, God says to your soul, go on, go on, go on, go on. Now, to me, what that means is obviously have faith, keep moving forward. However, that also reminds me that when God is pushing me, when God is communicating with me at my highest, it's going to create more stillness, right? Do you ever listen to somebody and when they say something, instead of creating more thoughts, instead you just go, that feels good. So let's do that really quick. Do it with me. Let's take a deep breath in. Feel it and then just let it out. Yeah, feels good, doesn't it? Taking a deep breath in. Let's do it one more time. Let's take a deep breath in. Feel that and then just let it out. Feels good to breathe, doesn't it? Right now, in that moment of stillness, right now, you here with me, you're communicating with your higher self, you're communicating with God. And in those moments of peace, in those moments of stillness, in those moments of connection, we'll call them, and joy and appreciation of love, that's when we communicate with God. That's when you ask the questions you've been seeking. That's when you ask the questions, the deep questions, the questions that have been on your mind. You know, what direction do I go from here? How do I get through this? Whatever your question is. How do I heal? How do I get the job? How do I? In those moments of stillness, and you ask that little question and you leave it as a quest, as a wonder. You leave it as that, the answer immediately fills you, right? There's no barriers, there's no blockades. It immediately fills you up with a stream of life. And you get your answer, but you have to listen and you have to feel through it. You can't think your way through life. We're not human thinkings, we're human beings, as Deepak Chopra says. We're human beings. And in resonating with that frequency, with that love, with joy, with appreciation, with gratitude, with stillness, that's when we're communicating with God. There's a reason there's so many monks that walk around in stillness and silence. They may be noisy in their heads, but they also may be peaceful in their hearts. Who knows? Only you will know if you walk the path. So, how do you connect with God? How do you communicate with God, with your higher self? You communicate with God and your higher self by becoming still. And by feeling good. How do you feel good? Take a few deep breaths like we just did. Or take note of a few things to be grateful for. Look around you. You're healthy. You've got an awesome pectoralis major muscle going on. You have a house. You have the ability to watch this video. You can hear this video. You have a phone. Whatever. Just a few things to be grateful for. Move yourself into that frequency of appreciation, of joy, of love, of gratitude through your thoughts. Look back at my videos. Look at, the thoughts create reality, all these different things. Thoughts create, but thoughts also bring us into alignment with our source. And the lack of thought brings us into alignment with our source, with God. Eliminate thought, meditate. Take a few minutes, 10 minutes just to still the mind. And then ask your question. And in that moment, you'll be getting your answers from the highest of the high, from the God source, from the infinite, from our divine Mother Father. Love you guys. That's it. Quick and short today. Appreciate it. Have a great day.